You know what? Let's build something. Filament. Check. Raspberry Pi 3 with hat? Check. Calipers. Check. Something doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, this has to do with amateur radio. Amateur radio. Check.
Welcome back. So, as you notice, I didn't say what channel this is for. Well, it's premiering on both channels today. So, as you saw in the logo, CMP and VA3 FUC are teaming up together to bring out this video. What does that mean for you, the watcher? Well, if you are part of the CMP family, you're going to see this video also appear on VA3 FUC. And the VA3 FUC people that are part of that family are going to see this if they watch the CMP. So I do apologize that this is showing on two channels. But this video contains to both channels. Now, I could have split it up and just did one video on this part and then brought it over to 3D printing. But I thought, well, why don't I just make one complete video, make it easy for everyone to find. So let's get into this. So, as you may know, I've been into amateur radio for a long period of time, and I've just recently got into DMR, and DMR is like, how can I put it? It's like a whole brand new range of the amateur radio spectrum. Now, yes, I know it's a digital mode. Yes, I know it's not HF. I get it. But I am only licensed for those bands, like digital mode for 2 meter, 70 centimeter. 6 meter is questionable because 6 meter does go in the 30 megahertz band, which I'm not allowed in. But I can do 6 meter UHF, VHF. Not that much out there on 6 meters, and I really hope soon that we get some more bands out in the 6 meter band. Some new laws are being passed in the US, which I'm really hoping that the Canadian government looks at and implements it also, because I really do feel that, you know, the heart and soul of amateur radio is in HF. And I think if we bring a whole bunch of people over to HF, that is going to make the bands even more busier, and it would be welcomed by all. I'm getting off topic here, so let me talk about what we're going to do. We're going to look at a part that I used, and I'm going to show you how to manipulate a part if you need to. Now, I'm going to put my own part up online, but I wanted to show you how you can manipulate a part if need be in a pinch. Like, say if there's when you found that you like and there's something wrong with it or you don't like the look of it, you can manipulate the file. So we're going to go over to my screen here, and this is Thingiverse. Thingiverse is like a repository for 3D printed items, and what they do is they put out STLs. STLs can be felt like blueprints. It tells the computer the design of it. Then we feed it into another program that prints it out for us, writes it in a different format so the printer can understand it. That's a whole different ball game, and that involves slicers and everything else. I'm not going to get into that part today. I'm just going to get into basic stuff here. If you want more of that, you want to go over, check out my other channel. So anyways, here's all the things we're going to be looking at. So this one is known as the RIP 3D. This is by I'll bring up his full logo, KT4RJ. Now KT4RJ. Okay, that's interesting. He's put his embossed in there. But we're going to download a file. Now, I've already downloaded it ahead of time, so I can show you guys what a download file looks like. So we're going to go look at this, and we're going to go into files here. And those are the two STLs, bottom and top. Now, I had an issue with his parts, but I'm going to show you how to edit a part and how to make it work for you. Now, his license that he put on the file is share alike, which is what that means, And this one is just a Creative Commons. Now there is no any other placements on this, so this file can be charged, it can be paid for, it doesn't matter. He just put it out there so that people that have 3D printers can print it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify that, because honestly, I don't think the fan is needed, but I'm going to do some editing to it. And the top part, I wasn't too happy with the lettering on that. So we're going to open that up into Tinkercad. Tinkercad. This is Tinkercad in a nutshell. This is just some designs I've been working on. This is like a modified design. I'll talk about how I modified that, but I'm going to show you how to clean up a file if need be, and then how you can take that print and, repurpose it for what you need. So we're going to look at create new design. Now it's going to give it a weird name. So it's calling it Super Java. I'm not really sure what that means, but that's what it's giving it. So we're going to import the item. So you hit import, choose file. Now you might have this on your computer. You might have to go in somewhere else to look for it. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go and bring that file in. And here's a nice little thing. You can actually drag it. So if I go like this. Oh, that's right, because I haven't extracted it. Okay, so I'm going to extract this. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So we're going to drag in the file. So this is one part of it. So I'm going to import it. There it is. There's the KT4RJ. Now, I wasn't too happy with that being on there. I understand he wants to put his call sign out there, but I personally don't want that on my end. So I'm going to grab a box here. And I'm going to look at this item. Now, as you can see, it's pretty tight. But what I want to know is how tall is it? It is 2 meters. By clicking on that little block, I can tell it's 2 meters high. Well, 2 millimeters high, I should say. And I can get the dimensions of the size of the whole item and have an idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this block. I'm going to measure it out. Cover his name. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this smaller to 2. Boom. Done. Now, as you can see, it's kind of faded itself in there. I'm going to highlight this again. I'm going to make sure that and the item is clicked on at the same time. Okay, they're both clicked. The button right here is called group. And what that will do, it'll group those 2 pictures together and make one solid item. Boom. Done. That's simple. Now, as you know, mine has a screen and has a antenna, and I'll show you the altered one I've already done because it took me a little while to do it. One of the tricks that I do whenever I'm designing it is I try to make it as small as possible for that same object. So say, since I only need half that lid, I will cut this up by half, do some test prints, and see how they turn out, because this only takes about a good minute or 2 to print. So while I'm trying to figure it out, I will print multiple copies and see what fits. And at the end, I ended up with this one. That's the final product. So what I did is I took away the circle, made it a square, because my antenna is a little weird how it fits in there. So I had to readjust that. And I just said, you know what? I'll just cut a square. It'll be okay. This opening here is for the screen because mine has a screen in it. And the way I did that is I use my calipers, which I don't have on me right now. But what I do is I measure the size of the screen and the width, and I punched that in here, and I did a couple test prints, and I got it to the right size that this screen will be supported. Now we go on to the actual other item I worked on, which we will now go to. So we're going to go to the top. We're going to go back to the Super Java. We're going to finger this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this item here. We're going to bring in another import item. Choose a file. Cancel. I want the bottom STL. So I'll drag the bottom STL in here. Okay, there it is. Now, I must admit, I don't mind those holes being there, but I'm not really a big fan of them. And as you can see, they go into the bottom there. So, but when I printed it, you can't feel it or anything. So, I went, holes not needed, but I might do some editing on the original STL I've already done the repairs on. So I was looking at it, I'm going, I'm going to grab a block here. So we're going to grab another block. All right. So we want to know what's going on here. So the height is 30. That's the first thing that we do really need to know is the height. Height is always important whenever you're manipulating STL, because then you know you got the right height. Now, if I remember correctly, it is 2 meters across here because the other frame was 2 millimeters. So that makes sense. So I'm going to plop that right there, and I'm going to drag this across so I can get the right amount of height. All right, there we go. Another option that you can do is you can drag your block right in there. Set that back to 30. You can grab it like this and just put it inside there. If you're trying to find out what size it is. Now, I'm going to bring this in because I can. And I'm going to reach on this side. And I'm going to bring it in. It in here, like so. And you notice it gives me a 2 right there. Right there's a 2. As you can see, it's kind of giving me that weird effect. So I just highlight it with the original file. So click on that. Then I click on that. And I click on this together. And then I just go group. Boom. Instantly done. Pretty simple. And then you can save it and then print it out the way you want it. Now, with mine, I'm going to be doing some modifications to this. So, and I will be uploading this to the Thingiverse, and links will be available for you guys to look at. But yeah, it's just that simple to do a design and get it going. So now you probably want to see the design now that it's been printed. And because I did this earlier, I have the print right here. Here's the case. Now, a little bit of a problem happened right here. Just a little bit of filament issue. But nothing that I couldn't untangle. It was just a tangle that kind of formed and caused an issue with printing. So I take my Raspberry Pi. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this end first into the holes. And then I'm going to push the back edge in. Or vice versa. Yeah, it's back edge in first. And then I push down on the fronts. And get them locked in. Now, the nice little thing about this print that I found, it doesn't require screws. The Pi sits right inside there. Won't come out. Because it's tight fit with these with the front components. Which was really a nice little discovery I found out. Keynote though, when you're plugging in your Raspberry Pi, you want to make sure you got a big enough. You find that this is too restrictive, I am going to make a bigger opening for bigger plugs. Like when I found out, let me grab this plug here. This plug right here, this USB one, actually fits. But there's another one I have where it doesn't fit. So I'm thinking I might make that just a little bit wider to accommodate bigger plugs. So there's going to be like 2 versions. One will be small. One will be the same size. One will be with a bigger hole, which I'm looking at doing in the next couple of days. So those prints, like I said, all these prints will be available once I finish the remixes. I also, as you know, took away his name, title, and everything else, but I'm going to fit this on here. Now, I've looked at some other Raspberry Pi boxes, and they don't allow this to fit on it. I've even tried modifying a couple of my own cases I have. Didn't work out too well. And they're not even 3D printed. They're just prints I bought Back in the day before I got my 3D printer, I bought some cases and they don't fit right. And as you can see, that screen is just a little bit above the top. Hence the reason why I had to cut out the front. Now, I printed mine a little bit differently. I wanted the shiny side up, so I kind of flipped the object. So it laid flat on my bed, so I got that nice front on it. Unfortunately, it gets a little couple of fingerprints, which I don't know how that happened, but I'm not even going to worry about that. And it fits perfectly on there too. This requires you to use M3 bolts. So these are just little Allen screws. So you use an Allen wrench for them. And you just put them in like so. Just self, you can even just do the self-turning for them. Most 3D printers come with Allen wrenches. So you don't have to go hunting for them. Now, if your printer did not come with Allen wrenches or you don't have them and you're interested in getting one of these, just, I'll help you guys out. Send me an email. My email link is in the description. Well, I'll put an email link for that description to the Canadian Maker Project's email. And just send me an email. I'll be more than happy enough to help you with that. So I should mention what I used to print this, as I used Coex Mystery PLA. Coex is an American company that produces PLA in the States. It prints at a higher temperature than most PLAs will. And the results I've had with this stuff has been brilliant. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more, I will put a link to the playlist giving you the information about the PLA and my review of it. I will also put a playlist to my radio, the Alliance HD1, if you're interested in getting a ham radio or you're a ham radio operator already. I'll have a link to the to that also in the list that will pop up in cards. As you can see, easily assembles. Put the antenna on. And I'm ready to work. So if you found this video interesting, please hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button just basically tells you when I go live. You might like the content on our other channels, so I recommend, if you like the content that you saw on the other channel, hit that subscribe button. It always helps the channels grow. Likes are also a big help. What that does, it just shows people that you liked something. It engages more community engagement and can help the channel grow also. And honestly, as you can see, the channels don't have the big enough, subscriber accounts where I can actually make money at this. So yeah, it's one of those things that I would like to see the channels grow and get more engagement and get people interested in both of these hobbies, because both of these hobbies, yes, they are an expensive hobby, but B, they are a fun and adventurous hobby to get into. Now, something I want to point out here is that when it comes to 3D printing, it's all in millimeters. So, and it uses it's all in millimeters, meters, centimeters. Has nothing to do with the imperial system, so I do apologize for all my American friends that find that a little confusing. Just follow my instructions, you'll be okay. And to everyone that's into 3D printing, you already know, so you guys can also lend a hand also by, if someone asks a question in the comments down below, and I do recommend you comment, because it lets me engage with you, the viewer, and allows us to, have a conversation. Let's have some fun with this. We all are trying to, help each other out here. So don't be afraid to hit that comment and comment down below. I do read them. I do reply back if it's a comment I can reply back to. But anyways, I just want to end this off with saying thank you so much for watching. To my 3D printing crew, keep on 3D printing. You know how much fun that is. And to my people that are on amateur radio, thank you so much. 73 to you. So thank you so much and have yourselves a great day.